Hello, and welcome to the Paul Sam podcast. I'm your host. My name is Sam. If you are new here, you're absolutely welcome. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new episodes every Thursday at 14:30. Now, today's guest is an incredible young lady, talented young lady, super intelligent, Mwape Chimpampa. She's a junior CEO, the 15-year-old super genius. She's a grade 11 pupil from the Boye Secondary School in Kafue District. She's developed an organic sunscreen that specifically caters to people with albinism. So I said, listen, I have to get her on. I have to speak to her because she's super brilliant. I'm super excited to have you on the podcast today. Mwape, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I hope you're not shy. I hope you're not nervous. If you are, it's normal, but you can just take a
No.
deep. But you sound and look so like, you're ready for it. Like, yeah, I was born for this.
Thank you.
So before we get into it, tell me, who is Mwape Chimpampa?
Well, I am a 15-year-old Lena, currently at Nawaye Secondary School in grade 11. And I have developed an organic sunscreen lotion to cater for the needs of people with albinism, as they are more perceptible or likely to get skin cancer due to the lack of melanin.
Okay, so you said you're 15 years old, grade 11.
Yes,
So you're still at school, you're
yes.
still in. So
Mhm.
I know there's discrimination around albinos. So talk to me about the challenges you face. Did you go, or have you been through mistreatment in school, with bullying, even within the neighborhood?
Mhm. Well, bullying is just somehow a normal phase for a child, and for me, with albinism, tends to be a bit more than an average child. So yes, I
Mhm.
did go through a number of bullying, like seasons of bullying and things like that. Whether it's at school, in the community, at home, so it was different. But when it comes to my family, I also carried them. They understood me, they understood the condition I have. Though it did take some time for me to blend in, so to speak, but eventually I did.
Okay, so what were some of the biggest challenges you faced when developing the sunscreen, and how did you overcome them?
The biggest I can say is opposition. Not everyone was in my support. Not everyone seems to be marveled by what I was doing. Let's say some of my
Really?
classmates would say, "Oh,
Okay,
it's just lotion." Like, yeah, it's
wait, wait,
just
wait, wait,
lotion. It's just cream.
wait,
It's
wait, wait.
just sunscreen.
Wait, so
Uh-huh.
your friends gave pushback? They were like, just sit down, please, Mope. Like, you're not going to do anything new here.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's nothing special about what you're doing. It's just a
So
lotion. Who cares?
how did that make you feel?
Mm, a bit of discouragement, but it's like that thing where I knew where I was headed and I knew that how big this would be. I knew the need that was there. So I just continued despite the opposition in the background. So right now it continues to like happen. People still seem to be saying, it's nothing special. But I keep advancing day by day.
That a girl, and that's amazing. I will give you an applause for that because, like you said, your this opposition is coming from your peers, from people in your class, from
Mhm.
school. Most kids would have been like, you know what, I'm not going to continue this for fear of being ridiculed, but you have just kept going. And I'm super proud of you to hear, just to even hear you say that is amazing.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, keep pushing through, keep pushing through. So do you have any, apart from the students, do you have any mentors or teachers who have helped you along the way during this process?
Yes, I have actually many of them whom I would love to thank. Currently, I was actually working through the JETS fair or the Junior Engineers and Technicians as well as Scientists fair, and I
Mhm.
received support from my matron, Mr. Pale, as well as my patron, Mr. Munganga. I've also been receiving financial support from my school administration, and away from the peers, I would also receive opposition from teachers. So it was both ways, learners and teachers. But they continue to encourage me and make me do better, pushing me so that I can work on this project for it to reach the level it is today. And I also received support from the Zambia Research and Development Center, ZRDC, through mainly Dr. Chisala, who's currently working there. And he has continued to help me, support me, continue to groom me for me to develop my project to a level I have reached right now.
Mhm. So there's tons of sunscreens on the market, different SPFs. What makes your sunscreen, the organic sunscreen, different from other products on the market?
Well, just the name itself, it's organic.
Organic.
In most cases, or yes, from all the sunscreens I've seen, all the ones I have used, they may claim, some of them claim, say, okay, this is an organic sunscreen. You check the composition of the ingredients, you find one or two chemicals there. And most times, there was a belief that sunscreen cannot be developed without zinc oxide or titanium dioxide, which are both chemicals, and sometimes may be harmful if used in excess or depending on the skin type. So I had to find a way to make a sunscreen without the use of these two chemicals. So most sunscreens have these chemicals in them, but mine doesn't have a single chemical. All the chemicals I use come from organic materials.
So what? Oh, so can I use your sunscreen as well?
Yes, you can. It's
So
for all skin types.
it's for all skin types.
Yes.
Okay, so shifting from the sunscreen, what specific challenges does albinism present when it comes to sun protection, and how does your product address those?
Mainly, my product is skincare wise. So, sunscreen is meant to protect one's skin from the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays, which, if penetrate into the skin, can cause skin cancer due to intense sunburn. For a person with albinism, they lack melanin. So, the melanin acts as a shield to protect one's skin from sunburn. But since we don't have these shields, the sun rays or UV rays just go in without any barrier to prevent them from penetrating into the skin and damaging the cells. So having a sunscreen lotion can help to act as a barrier onto the skin. Well, sunscreen mainly comes in two types, I can say. There's one called the mineral sunscreen and the chemical sunscreen. But the chemical sunscreen doesn't mean it contains chemicals, and the mineral doesn't mean it has minerals in it. Well, it depends on the way it works. Mine is a chemical sunscreen, but organic. Let's say mineral sunscreens are those that work. If you've ever used one of them, there are some of those which leave some foam on the top of the skin, like a color. If it's a white layer, yes, that's a mineral sunscreen. But mine is chemical, so it does not leave any layer on the skin. It gets absorbed by the skin and works inside. So that's the difference between the two.
Oh, okay. So are you saying there is no, or there are no sunscreens on the market for people with albinism, so you can't use any other sunscreen that's on the market?
Most sunscreens are actually designed for fight albinism, but currently in Zambia, if I put it in Zambia itself, for an example, we do not produce sunscreen. In Africa, we only have 3 known countries that are currently producing sunscreen at a large scale. We have Nigeria, South Africa, and Tanzania. And if we look at countries like Tanzania, our neighboring country, it's only one industry that makes sunscreen lotion. So that's not enough to supply everyone in Africa. So most of the sunscreens we receive come from countries like India, China, Germany, and others, meaning that we have to receive them from far-flung areas to come into Zambia. And when they're being sold, they're sold at very high prices that even those with albinism cannot afford them. And currently we have nearly 30,000 with albinism, of which over 17,000 live in the rural parts of the country, where this sunscreen is hard to find. So they don't have sunscreen lotion. What will they do? They end up dying from skin cancer. So that's why mine is organic, with locally sourced materials for us to make it in Zambia, have an industry supplied to those people who cannot afford it. And obviously it will be cheaper because it's just things you can simply pluck in the garden, get from a tree, and things like that.
Now, I know reason you felt the need to create the organic sunscreen was due to your father's passing. Could you tell me about that?
Yeah. Well, my father grew up in a family that could not afford sunscreen for him. So the same example I gave was people in the rural areas who cannot have sunscreen lotion or access it, who cannot afford it if they do access it. My dad couldn't have the sunscreen lotion and he couldn't afford it as he was growing up. So later on in his life, he got skin cancer, which later led to his death. So that's the whole purpose for me to come up with this sunscreen lotion.
And I'm sure he'll be super proud of you if he was still here. And may rest in
Yeah.
peace. I'm so sorry for your loss. Um, myths. How do myths only apply to the physical appearance of people with albinism? Because there's so many stories linked to people living to people with not living. Sorry, that sounds, but to people with albinism. You hear stories of people using the body parts for rituals. So does this apply to the physical appearance of people with albinism?
Well, it varies. It varies actually. So to prepare for this interview, I actually went through a couple of questions that people ask about albinism, well, a couple of myths, then denoted them in form of questions. So I think I can answer some of them. One of them, people say, is albinism contagious? Well, a clear answer is no. Albinism is caused by a genetic mutation in a certain cell which allows the production of melanin. So it cannot produce melanin. So it's not contagious in any way. And is albinism another race? Some people will give us names, although quite offensive, which I would not recommend and should not be used, like Mwape, for example. We're not another race. It's not like we are different from blacks, whites, no. So
Mm.
albinism can occur in any race. Even whites can have albinism, not only Africans. And
Mm.
people also ask, are people with albinism less intelligent? No. Albinism does not affect one's brain in any way. It does not
Mm.
affect one's intelligence. A person with albinism can be equally as intelligent as one who doesn't have albinism. They can even be a class topper if possible. And does albinism shorten a lifespan? No, it does not. So albinism in no way does it affect one's lifespan. They can live even up to 40, 50, even 70 or 80 years old as long as they protect themselves.
Yes, skin. Yeah.
Obviously, these myths may even come from just us being more vulnerable to diseases like skin cancer. But if you don't have it, you can still live a very long life. And okay, do people with albinism have magical powers? Well, this is also one reason why people end up killing them for their body parts, use them for wealth, for example. Wealth, they believe that it gives them good charms, lucky charms, and things like that. Well, that's not true. We do not have magical powers. We're ordinary people, just have no melanin in us. So, yeah, that's not true. That's not true. It's just a myth. And that also leads to the belief that people with albinism don't die, but just disappear. Well, this notion was developed just to cover up for the missing people with albinism who disappeared due to murder. So they would say, no, they did not die, they just disappeared. So that's so true. Another one was, can people with albinism have children with a typical amount of pigmentation? Yes, they can. People with albinism can have children without albinism. So it's a congenital thing. It has to come from both parents. If it's one parent, it won't happen if the child cannot have albinism. The last two I have are slightly more detailed. If I say, does albinism come in one form? Why this matters is because people think people with albinism all look the same. Well, there are mainly two types of albinism. It can be oculocutaneous, meaning ocular, meaning eye, and cutaneous skin. So it affects the hair, eyes, and skin, and ocular, affecting the eyes only. So people with albinism don't have the same type. And these, like if we look at the OCA or oculocutaneous, it comes in forms from 1 up to 7. So they may vary. Some have brown hair, some have white hair, some have silver or even platinum hair. So it differs. And my sunscreen is mainly for those with oculocutaneous albinism, as they have a skin mutation as well. Another one, which is the last one, is albinism a disability? I received this question a lot actually. I had to conduct a few surveys and find out some questions that people have of albinism. And the clear and straightforward answer to this question is yes, it is. But what makes it a disability? Well, disability is not inability. So I can say a person who is blind is disabled because they can't see. A person who is deaf is disabled because they cannot hear. A person with albinism is disabled mainly because of the effect it has on their eyes. Let's say
Mm.
albinism is wider than people may think. It comes with conditions like nystagmus, strabismus, fovea hypoplasia, and others. If we look at them, they all cause a defect in the eye, which makes it very difficult for one to see, either causing short-sightedness or long-sightedness. And this is not just the normal short-sightedness we see, it's extreme. So it's
Mm.
more than the average short-sighted person. And in some cases, it even causes blurred vision. So that's why albinism is classified as disability. And as I mentioned, they're also more likely to get skin cancer. So all these put together answers the question.
I'm still thinking of the part where you said people believe that people who are albinos have magical powers and they don't die. Did people
Mm-hmm.
actually believe that? Like that's according to your research that you did, that people actually believe that?
Yes, actually. Well, when I went with my research, I tried to make it more practical. So I tried asking my peers, what questions do you have about albinism? What myths have you heard? And then most people brought up the same point. I heard that they don't die, they just disappear. I thought that's like an old-fashioned belief. I thought it just passed away, but apparently it's still there. People still believe that. So yeah, it's still a concern.
No, that's a horrible myth. That's horrible. Now, is your daily, I just want to find out if your daily life is affected by albinism.
Mhm. Yeah, my daily life.
Yeah, your daily life
Well,
is.
my daily life, mainly, let me say, the effects of the disability itself. As I mentioned, it does affect my eyesight, like extremely. I remember one time I actually did get glasses. So I got glasses and then I went to school with them. So before I wouldn't see clearly. Then when I got them, I would like ask my teacher, what's that word on the board? And then he'll be like, you have glasses, you can't see. So one thing our eyesight cannot be corrected. In the US, they call it legal blindness. It's just like a legal term used to refer to people with albinism. Their eyesight is uncorrectable. So
Mhm.
that's one way I'm also affected. I'm very sensitive to light and or sunlight. I don't really move around a lot in the sun. Well, sunscreen does help, but it's not 100% safe. So I have to still remain protected to some extent. And
Mm.
stigma in other ways, though currently in my area, I can say it has reduced extremely. So people have accepted me. I have friends. I can go out and not
Mm.
receive the insults I would receive in the past. Oh, I do, but not often. So yeah.
Yeah. And I love how you are so like resilient and you've moved past the challenges, the hurdles, you've moved past them. And at your age, 15 years old, it's very easy to sink into a deep hole. But you've risen up and said, you know what? No, I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm not going to let what other people think of me or what other people have to say about me stop me from doing what I have to do. So keep going, Mwape. Your future is incredibly bright. And I'll encourage you to keep
Thank
going
you.
and to just soldier on, girl. Now,
Thank you.
what's life been like? I mean, you've invented the sunscreen. You're out there. I saw you on the BBC, by the way. So I thought I was just like, you invented the sunscreen. So now what's life been like for you ever since you developed your product and put it out there to the public?
Sometimes I wonder, did life before this ever exist? It just feels like it's now a part of me. It has somehow become a way of life. Let me say, ever since I developed my product, well, let me not say when I developed it, when it hit the ground, like now it's groundbreaking. People know about it, it has gained the popularity it needs. It's like I don't know. It's just something new. It was a new experience. It was something that I now treasure. I have been receiving invitations to various conferences, various events, award ceremonies, interviews, and things like that. And it has just been so big. I've been so excited. And yeah, I think I'm glad that I did not stop even when others said that this was
Yeah.
useless.
And I'm also glad you didn't stop because there are people who do need your product. So clearly you come up with
Mhm.
something innovative and it's different and it's going to save countless number of lives. So what's the most challenging
Yeah.
part of your life right now?
challenging part. I could say when it comes to my, or if it depends, okay, it's in two ways. Is it away from my product or with my product? Away from it, I think it's just the sunlight itself. With my product, it's when it applies to people, because people now become a bit stereotypical, wondering, okay, so she has albinism and thinks she can do something. She thinks she can make a sunscreen, and oh, okay, because
Mm,
most people will be inventing these big gadgets, the robots, the AIs, apps, and things like that. And I'm
mm.
here with my lotion. And now people are wondering, what is that she thinks she's doing? Does she think she can be an innovator? But some people have been very acceptive. They've been very receptive with what I have been able to accomplish. So it's a 50-50 in both ways, bittersweet.
Now, social media, I've noticed you're not too active on social media, which is it's great. Is that like a personal thing of yours? Like you're not too active on social media because, as a 15-year-old, there's a lot of pressure to conform, especially on social media. So they're like, oh, if you're not posting, you're not doing it, and you're not posting. And most people are like, but you've created a sunscreen. So why aren't you on social media? Why aren't you as active on social media?
Actually, I am. Actually, am. Just not as active as I used to be.
Oh,
Before I would be on all socials. I'd be on TikTok, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and things like
mhm,
that. But now I'm just on Instagram, Facebook, yeah. But YouTube, before I would be an albinism educator, because I would see people educating people about albinism, like posting them, trying to clarify or cover up the myths and misconceptions that have been spread of people with albinism. And I was
mm,
like, I also want to do that. And then I tried it. It didn't
mm.
go my way. So just packed it up. Then I
Ah,
developed my product. I gained the popularity again. Then people are now texting me in my TikTok inbox, why have you stopped posting? Why have you posting? So I don't know. I was thinking of resuming eventually, but currently I'm just on the Instagram is mostly my page. So not so active, just somewhere there. Mm-hmm.
ah. And that's okay. You don't always have to post every second of the day. It's fine. It's fine. We can see you. So you don't need to post
Yeah.
every second. Don't even feel that pressure. So I know you lost your dad. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I'm sure he would be so proud of you, incredibly
Mm-hmm.
proud of you. Now talk to me about your mom. When you told your mom, Mom, this is what I want to do. I want to create a product that caters to people with albinism. What did she say?
I didn't even have to do that. When I first started my innovation, it was more fun. Just, I'll do it for fun. Do it for fun. So I just made the product and I told my friends, hey, I came up with this. Because I would hear people making organic hair products, organic face masks. But
Mm,
okay, I don't use any of those, or I do, but not often. What I use every day is sunscreen. Let me try and make organic sunscreen. Made one
mhm,
and I told my friend about it, and she's like, that's nice. You know that we have the Jets fair coming up. And then I've heard of Jets. And all I know about Jets is that it's for these really smart kids who come up with these big robots and gadgets. And I'm like,
mhm,
yeah, I may have made a sunscreen. You're talking about a sunscreen here, and you want me to go compete with a robot? You want me to go compete with an AI? And no. Go under medicine. Try being the junior doctor you are. And there I
mhm.
participate in the district fair, school level, district level, and I come first position. Now that excitement, and I go and tell Mom, I'm going for provincial next time. I've won the fair. So
Yeah.
she's wondering, what happened? She doesn't know anything because I didn't tell her that I'm making sunscreen. Oh, I made sunscreen. And, okay, that's good. And here we go. So that's when she came on board now. Okay, now she knows what I'm doing. She was very supportive, and yeah, she was proud for her. She was proud.
No. So are you
Mhm.
an only child, or do you have your siblings? And if you
No,
do, do they also have albinism?
I actually come from a family of five, three older brothers and one younger sister. My younger
Okay.
sister and I are the only ones with albinism in the family.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So does she also face discrimination, or are you there to
Yes,
protect her? You're on hand to protect her? So do you have
I
to
used
make
to be at the same school.
mm,
Mhm. Oh, we used to be at the same school when I was
okay,
in primary, but after I
okay.
wrote my grade 7 exam, I had to move, go to secondary school. So after I left, so she mentioned these stories of discrimination. Just so much she's been accepted, but
Mm,
just once in a while, maybe a few times a year, would hear such stories. But oh, she's okay. She's okay.
it's okay. Okay, that's good. Now, to young inventors out there in Zambia, because we're told to stay in the box and not think outside of it. What advice would you give them if they see your story, they've heard your story, and they're like, I can do that. So, what advice would you give them?
I really love giving advice that just comes from way down there. I just think of it and poof, here it comes out. Well, let me say, staying in the box is like remaining locked in a room. No one wants to be locked in one place for a long time. Thinking outside the box, on the other hand, is you letting your mind be free, wander out, Like
Mm,
the biggest discoveries are usually the ones which are unknown. I can't discover something which is already there. We already know what is inside more than what is outside.
mm,
So dream big. You don't know where the outside world can take you. What is inside has already been seen. We already know what's inside. Give us
mm,
something new. Give us the fire that's deep down that you have locked in that box. Let it
mm,
go. Just let
mm.
it go. I
Just
think
let it
that's
go.
the best advice I can give one.
Just
There you
do
go.
it. Just let it go and just do it.
Mhm.
Amazing.
And besides, of course, we would want to open that door for success. The door is not the one that's in the room. The door is outside. So leave that room, go to the next room. That's where you find the success.
So when does the sunscreen hit the market?
Hopefully by the end of this year. Well, market. Okay, I'm still developing it. Developing it. I have developed it, but I want to work on the shelf life. As I mentioned earlier, I'm targeting those in rural areas who may not have access to refrigerators, and mine has to be refrigerated. So try and give it out of fridge use. So I've tried to partner with some people who have worked on their products and have managed to make organic skincare products, as other products that can
Mm.
stay out of the fridge. So just sometime, not long, but sometime. Probably by the end of this year, I can have shelf life taken care of. By next year, hopefully it can be on the market.
So we're basically going to see a mogul, Mwape Chimpampa, sorry, is a mogul in the making. So 2, 3 years from now, you want to see your sunscreen in all stores in Zambia, even outside.
Hopefully. That's the hope.
That
And I
that's
hope it
that.
doesn't stay, yeah,
You hope it
it shouldn't
doesn't
stay
what?
locked up. It
It
doesn't
shouldn't
stay
stay,
locked up in one area, it can spread. There you go.
and it will, and it will, it will. Mwape, thank you so much for sitting with me. Thank you for agreeing to speak
Thank
to
you
me.
as well.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Wishing it's already happening for you. It's already happening for you. You are on the right path. So keep going. Keep going. Don't listen to what
Thank
the
you.
next people have to say. Just keep going. Keep your head up and keep looking forward. Don't look back, because you know what happens when you look back? What does the
What
Bible
happened?
say? What happens when you look back? You look back and
Oh,
you're and
okay. Yeah, I get the point.
do you see it?
I get the point.
You will stay there. So keep
Mhm.
looking forward. Keep going forward. Keep going forward.
Mhm.
So thank you.
Yeah.
We will talk again soon when I see your sunscreen
Mhm.
in stores. I will be the first to buy a whole batch.
Thank-
I
Hoping so.
will be the first. Oh my, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, Call Us Sam Podcast. New episodes drop every Thursday, and I'll see you next week, Thursday.